Hey,
Hey there.
what's up?
Everything. Everything.
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm gonna turn up the volume a little. Oh, it's max. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly. So just let me know if it's too disturbing. For now, it's peaceful. Ah,
Beautiful.
look, and actually, if you will, like I had a different spot right over there, like down there. These people,
Oh man, it looks beautiful where you are. It looks beautiful there.
and I said these people are gonna move when I start the video, and there you are. Bam! Instant manifestation. That's
Manifesting,
what happens a
manifesting.
lot. What's happening a lot to me. Like since I'm on the pranic path, even the last past weeks, it's just bam, 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 bam.
Just one after another.
Yeah, you know the drill, I guess. I mean, if you're in tune, then everything just manifests like it should. So
Yeah.
see, there you go.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful synchronicities. You're in Romania right now?
I'm in Romania. Yes, I started my road trip here. I live here, by the way, normally.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so I came here 3 years back, and then I had a relationship, which is over since a year. So my primary relationship is now with spirit, my soul, with alignment. So
Yes. Got, got you. Got
makes
you.
me very, very happy. Yeah,
Solo journey, solo journey, living the nomad life. I love how you spelt that. Nomad.
yeah,
Nomad.
with the little brag.
Yeah, that's clever. I love that. I love that.
Thank
Because,
you.
I mean,
Thank
that's what we're designed to do. We're designed to move, you know?
I
Yeah.
think there's, yeah, but to me, I just see this as like a personal initiation into manhood. Like,
Okay.
do you know the stories about the tribes where they initiate like a young guy when they are 12 into manhood?
Like, like a rite of passage?
Yeah,
Okay.
exact. Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Can
they,
you talk? Yeah, talk about that?
yeah, so in the tribe, when a boy becomes 12, he gets pulled away from his mother, of course, because he needs to learn how to become a man. So he has a rite of passage, which can be like a lot of things.
Hmm.
And after that, well, now let me tell it like this: it's yeah, the purpose of that is that the boy finds his soul purpose, so he can get back to the tribe, uh, serving the community, like, so he knows what he's here for, he knows what he needs to do, and then the pack of men, they just get him, say, all right, now we're going to teach you about manhood and how to be safe before you burn down the village. So yeah, so I think a lot of men, me included, didn't have that rite of passage. I think the rite of passage in modern culture has been gone for a long while.
Mm.
So if I look at my dad and my grandfather, I mean, they did their thing. I think they did their best to just raise, but you can just see the pain and the struggles, like most men, and also the boys in our society are like even my own sons. I'm doing my best to be there, like from a distance,
Okay.
as much as I can, like so. But they also got to find their own path.
Right,
So yeah.
right. That's true. And I don't have children myself, but how many sons do you have?
I have two sons and one daughter. So my daughter is 22. I have a son of 20 and a son of 16. And I mean, I'm so blessed with these kids. It's amazing. It
Yeah,
just makes me happy thinking about them. Yeah. You
that's
don't have
beautiful.
any kids? Yeah. I mean, but you
Not
can get
yet.
into the feeling, right?
Not
I don't
yet.
know what your age is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know you. I don't know you, so I don't even know how old you are. I just saw you on Instagram. I started following you. I was thinking like, hey, this guy's pretty interesting. Looks like a kindred soul, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's blessings. How old did you think I was?
I don't know. I honestly can't say. I would say like in your end of your 20s, begin 30s. I don't know. It's so hard to say when, especially because you're on the pranic path also.
Well, yeah,
You
you're
look
good.
younger.
You're good at pinning down ages. Yeah, I'm beginning my 30s. Well, I'm in my early 30s. My my late 20s was when I found out about, pranic living, breatharianism, living on light,
Wow.
is when I came, into contact with these messages and these, you know, different documentaries and these different things with Jazz Muhin and Ray Mayor and Ellie Tom and
Yeah.
all these people that were putting out all this information. So, you know, to my understanding, when you said 2 years ago, where were you 2 years ago? And who was this lady, you know, the Pranic lady that you found who was going to do a
Oh,
regression,
she's
but
not a
ended up
pranic.
doing. Hmm.
She's not a pranic lady.
Okay. Well, then,
I
yeah, who
just,
was the lady?
as a woman I met like when I was 42. I'm 49 right now. So 7 years ago. And, I mean, she was very strong soul, very soul spirit, strong spirit, but we just had a very toxic, of course, to learn, you know? I mean, everything in life, every relationship you're in, everything you relate to is a lesson. So,
Right,
and a blessing in the end.
right.
I mean, I can see, I could go on and blame her for all the shit we gone through, but I could say, hey, man, but I learned a lot. And I did learn a lot. So, yeah, I'm very thankful and grateful for, even though it was toxic, for the lessons, which actually made me go on my personal journey right now.
Hmm.
So this is the product of just having this toxicity, also my own toxicity, right? I'm taking account here.
Hmm.
I'm also taking accountability here. And but she and I just I think we were together for 6 years, and 3 years back we moved to Romania together in the COVID times because yeah, we just didn't feel right in the Netherlands, and we said like, okay, we need to move. And my family has been here for 20 years, and they
Hmm.
had two beautiful cottages. So I said like, oh, I just contacted them like, hey, how would you feel about us moving there in the cottages in the valley and in nature and doing a project? And yeah, so that's how that came about.
Okay.
And I think 1.5 years ago, probably two, we broke up, and yeah,
Hmm.
we're good.
Went your
Well, I'm
separate
good.
ways. Yeah, it
Yeah, I
reminds
mean,
me of. Hmm.
yeah, sorry.
What'd you say?
My lesson in life, how I look at relationships is like they have like a validity, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's always something you need to learn from
Right,
it. And when it's done, you
right,
know?
right.
That's what can be your whole life can be 2 months. You know, you meet a soul, you learn, and then you separate
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, the lesson was learned naturally. So, you know, that reminds me of, you know, the longest relationship I was in, and that was 10 years for me. We were with each other for a decade, you know, we were high school sweethearts, and it ended up being super toxic, you know, very toxic. And I take, you know, just this the same as, you know, you have the level of maturity to take credit for the things that you brought into the relationship and the things that you brought out of the relationship. I as well, I had to definitely accept a lot of accountability and responsibility for my role to play. But we just definitely didn't communicate well. We didn't know how to talk to each other. We didn't know how to walk with each other, you know. And once we separated, that was when I found this lifestyle. You know, that was,
Correct.
I was looking for something, looking for anything to connect to. So I'm assuming that this is not the lady that you were talking about that was doing a regression and that was
Oh,
talking about a
no,
pranic retreat.
no, 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 no. That was just a lady. It was like this. I felt I needed a
Mhm.
regression, and I was in this group with people that were giving away services for free. So it was like an exchange, and I
Mhm.
just did a shout out like, "Hey, listen, I feel I need a regression. Is there somebody here that like could give me like a session?"
Mhm.
Actually, two people responded. I went to the first, but I was like, well, okay, it was good, but and then I met the second lady, and she was very, very doubtful in the connection. And I said, "Oh, that's funny because I felt I needed to be with you." And she said, "Yeah, it feels good, even after 1 minute being inside, right? It was like meeting a soulmate."
Mhm.
And then, as you will, she started talking about the Pranic retreat, which he did with this Dutch guy, Brahman Menor. I don't know if you know this guy, but
So this was a mudra.
No, 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 no. Amudra is like the ex of Brahman. This was a student of Brahman. So
Oh,
she was in the retreat with him. She attended the retreat
okay,
like a trainee,
okay.
and she came back, and then she said, like, she was telling me about it, and my whole body was like,
The light bulb came on.
pretty strong, brother. Pretty strong. Yeah, yeah, that came on pretty strong. My whole body was vibrating. I would say, okay, I don't know what's happening here to her, but I feel like I need to go on the same path. And then we did like we tried like to do like retreat, creating retreats ourselves, but the energy was just not there. So I mean, it was okay. So we let go of each other, and you know, yeah, that's how life is, I guess. I mean, sometimes and I can feel pretty strongly these days. Like if I meet someone and they want to like do something, like collaborate together, I can feel from the beginning like, this is not gonna work. It's gonna work, and I'll just be upfront with it. Like I'm not sure about it, so I don't feel the energy right now. So you know,
Okay.
I guess you know
So,
how that
well,
works.
yeah, I mean, what did they impress upon you at the retreat that inspired you? You know, like what was it like to be with? Were you with Brahman Menor? Were you with some
No,
other,
no,
you know,
no,
Pranic?
no. I was no. She was at the retreat.
Mhm.
I was just doing a regression session with her. Then we started seeing if we could like facilitate retreats, which didn't
Okay.
happen.
Okay, I got you.
I was actually on a retreat when I went on my road trip on the 14th of August. I went to Christiana.
El Chayan.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, 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 yeah. So that's where my journey started, and that's how I wanted to start my road trip. Just ease it to the group, and then it was very, very interesting. Beautiful souls there, and yeah.
Okay. So it was Christiana. So that's where your journey, your pranic journey really started, you're saying.
Yeah, I know this is confusing. No, my pranic journey started with the lady went to for the regression session. Like
Mhm.
that's 2 years back, and since then I've been like sinking into the whole pranic, just digesting all kinds of content.
Right.
I just bought like the Akai 8-day Breatharian thing, and
Mhm.
because I noticed that like my mind and my emotional state, they keep on trying to sabotage me. Like you know what I mean? Probably. I mean,
The mind games. Mind games.
yeah, like you walk by, like let's say you feel like this hunger, like the hunger, and then the mind says, oh yeah, let's eat some solid food. Oh, you can do some French fries. Oh, let's do a pizza.
Mm.
No, I don't want to do a pizza. I'm on solids. I'm on fluids right
Mhm.
now. Well, I do want to eat a pizza, but I know it's not good because I know it brings me gas. It's not good for my intestines.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know about your pranic path. Could you tell me a little about it?
Of course.
Because I don't know.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, with that relationship that we separated, you know, from there I went to California here in the US. And in California, you have all kinds of characters. But I'm a believer that, you know, seek and you shall find. You know, whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find it. So since I wasn't looking for negativity, I didn't find it. You know, I actually found some very positive people. You know, I went to a meditation seminar. They were teaching about, you know, Buddhist traditions. They were Burmese monks and nuns there, all of them head shaven, the men and the women wearing, you know, robes and doing alms round and collecting donations in their alms bowls. And they were teaching me about the reasons why we suffer, meditation and different forms of vibration. And then they let me stay with them. So they let me stay at their
Wow.
meditation center free of charge in the middle of one of the most expensive, you know, cities in America. You know, like people are really just hand and feet, you know, working tirelessly every day to try and make ends meet, you know, and I was there just, you know, they took me off of the street and they let me sleep right there in their meditation center. So that was when I heard the conversations about breatharianism, liquidarianism, and pranic living. These were words that I never even heard before. Like they weren't even in my lexicon. They weren't even in my vocabulary. I didn't even know that that existed, you know? But there was something in my mind that didn't resist it because I had lowered my resistance from so much depression. I was ready for anything new. I was desperate. I was in a moment, it was a moment of not only desperation, but an inspiration that intertwined with me needing something new, you know, just something that would take my life in a complete 180, like a complete different direction, because I was so unsatisfied and so just really just downtrodden with the way that my life had gone up until then. I didn't have that rite of passage as you talked about. So I was kind of lost in the world, didn't really have my identity. So this allowed me to find something that really called me from within. And just like you had that click, that light bulb come on, the light bulb came on for me. And I did my first retreat with Elitam Elamine and Athena Starseed and some other lovely light beings at the Sound Temple Palace in California. And that was what started everything for me. That was when I started going without for long periods. And now it has been since May of 2022 that I've had solid food. So I've been on liquids for over 2 years now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, man. I mean, I was curious about, like, are you a full-on breatharia, like a Pranic, or are you on liquids, or I don't know. I mean, I'm on liquids myself. I just had like a chai latte and like latte macchiato today. That's it, and some water.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed by my body, man. I mean, it's like it doesn't ask for more. I
Yeah.
mean, I could juice up some smoothie right now, but I don't need it.
Right.
Like, and there's struggles in the process. Today I struggled, to be honest. I mean, I had a lot of struggles today with
Mm.
the whole Breatharianism, but I'm good again. I'm good again. Yeah.
Yeah. What are what is the contrast between the struggles that you have today on this journey versus maybe the struggles you used to have before?
This is it. I just laugh about it. No, I'm sorry. Uh, because I'm on my own path now, I get to decide, and that's what makes it so light. So actually, what I tell my children, everyone around me, like, I just follow my body and my soul. That's all I'm doing, and it feels so light. I mean, I guess you know that feeling. Like when you're on the path and you feel everything's aligning. And I mean, of course, I'm on a road trip through 30 countries. I just in my first. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't care.
Right.
I mean, and I have these beautiful synchronicities. 2 days back, I was hiking here in the around this city. There's this they call it Solomon's Rocks.
Mm.
I don't know if you know the stories about King Solomon. I don't either. But there was this guy coming down just at the point that, as I was thinking, like, shall I proceed? And I was feeling like a no. And this Romanian guy came down, and he actually doesn't live here. He moved to Alaska, but he was back, and he told me all the stories about the King Solomon. And then we were standing about at a cross. There was the cross like a death monument,
Mm.
because back in the day when he was 7, he's 55 now. Some guy fell down, some 19-year-old guy fell down from the rocks and died over
Mm.
there.
Mm.
But I saw a second cross, and I say, hey, do you know the story behind the second cross? And he says, no, I don't. And this is really true.
Mm.
Within a minute, there's this old guy coming up, a Romanian old guy, starting to ramble in Romanian, telling us the story about the second cross. And he didn't speak English. How do you explain that?
So just what you needed. He was telling you exactly what you were asking for.
We were asking about the second cross. He says, I don't know. And within a minute, bam, this old guy comes up out of the blue. I don't know where he came from.
Yeah.
Start telling a story about his mother-in-law that died there because
Mm.
a rock fell on her head. They were picnicking, Yeah, it was a sad story, but
Jeez.
you could really see the old guy, the old man. He was really still pretty strong about it. Like he didn't let it go.
Mm.
He was really attached to the story. Very emotional.
Right.
Like how does that even compute? I
Right.
mean,
Like when synchronicities like that happen to you, Will, what do you take it as a sign of? Like what is it a signal for? What is it, what does it tell you?
yeah, it tells me that I'm on my path and that I'm aligned with my soul purpose. That's what it tells me. So my only, like I said, my only relationship right now is with me, with my
Right.
higher self, soul, whatever you want to call it. Um,
Right.
yeah, I mean
Makes sense.
that
Makes sense.
the more this happens, the more I feel aligned to that, to
Yeah.
my inner core. Like if it doesn't happen, I know I'm out of alignment.
Mm.
So there's there's this funny. I saw this movie clip. I mean, maybe it was from you. I don't know about the word coincidence,
Yeah.
like the
What about it?
coincide thing, or two
Mhm.
two lines meet.
Yeah.
Was that you?
Yeah. Coincidence, like when two lines or two angles coincide, right? Mm.
Exact. So that was so beautiful that you. I don't know even like if you shared it or somebody else, but I was feeling it. I was like, yeah, this is it. This
Yeah.
is exactly when the 2 points meet. Like me and my soul are there.
Yeah.
Everyone around it.
Exactly. Exactly. So
I mean,
what did it feel like, Will, when you coincided with Christiana? Like when you came in contact with Christiana, what was that meeting like?
another funny story. I mean, my birthday is on the 15th of August. That's
Hmm.
when I turned 49.
That
And
Virgo?
no, Leo.
Leo.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. I'm a Leo. I like to shine.
Ah,
No, but also again, perfect alignment because I was on my laptop. I was thinking like, I really don't feel like going into my road trip like full on, head on. Like just going to my first destination and just already start filming because it's all new to me. This content creating, and I was saying like, okay, I'm looking for something to do
hmm.
before I go on my first. You won't believe this. Within a half an hour, or within I think even 10 minutes, I found her website, starting the retreat on my birthday. I
Wow.
said, "Nah, come on. How does this work? So I signed up. I was like, okay. I mean, this is obvious.
Hmm.
And it was good because it gave me some time to first get into a group, like not go full on my journey, because afterwards when they were gone, they left on the 18th. I was really feeling this gap. I put it on my Instagram and a little movie about it, like how I was feeling. It was this gap, like, oh, this realization from, okay, I chose to be free, completely free. I was overwhelming because I can go anywhere, I can sleep anywhere, I can be anywhere, I can do anything I like. How do I even like start? I was confused, to be
Hmm.
honest. It was overwhelming to be this free because I don't own a house. I don't own like I don't have like rent or that kind of stuff, or
Right.
all kinds
So
of mortgages, or no, I don't have it. I just have my car. That's it. I
you
have my
said that
car.
the freedom almost brought with it like confusion, like what to do
Yeah,
next.
yeah. It was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like if you have the feeling like, let's say you were free of your everything now, right now, like your house and you partner, everything, like, and you just decide like, I'm gonna pack my backpack and I'm gonna go. And you stand on the street, you quit your job, you finish the lease on your house, and you say, like Ellie Tom, like he's walking around in Africa.
Hmm.
You say, you know what? Let's move.
Yeah.
You step out the front door, your house is gone, everything's gone. You only have your backpack, and then this realization kicks in like, yeah, okay. Uh, now
Yeah.
what? Where do I where do I sleep? Where do I
Right,
how's
right.
this gonna happen, you know?
No security, no safety
Exact
blanket, no
facts,
security
no
net,
comfort,
no
nothing.
assurances, nothing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it took me a while to really get into that. So
But,
right now I'm pretty good. I'm resonating on a good level and finding my balance again with being on my journey.
mhm.
Because what I notice about myself already is like I like to move. I like to be on the move. And if I am not on the move right now, I met this guy 2 days ago and he said, "Oh, let's meet up on Monday night,"
Mhm.
which means I have to stay here.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I would have gone on my journey and go to the next destination, you
I
know.
see. I see.
And then this girlfriend of mine, she texts me like, "Hey, are you in Brasov?" I say, "Yeah. Maybe we can meet up." So right now, uh, I'm already here for 3 days,
Mhm.
and I notice about myself that there's some discomfort, if you will.
Mhm.
Like, okay, I want to move, but I cannot move because I made all these decisions, you know, with these guys, and so I really had to lean into resistance this afternoon.
Leaning
Like,
into. Yeah.
and I created this DJ mix because I'm also an ecstatic dance DJ.
Awesome.
Uh, yeah. I'm starting this new show on Mixcloud. I just released my first, but the mix, I put it on Mixcloud,
Mhm.
it was empty. I was like, what?
Mhm.
What happened? You know what it was?
What?
I was pushing. I was telling myself I need to get this mix online. So
Oh.
I even fucked up in the mix sometime, but you don't hear it really if you don't. If you're a DJ, like I'm not a perfectionist, but I'm close to.
Mhm.
You have these little imperfections, and then I uploaded it. I just promoted it everywhere, and I was like listening to it. I just saw this flat line, you know, in the
Mhm.
waveform on like you have on SoundCloud, Mixcloud. You have these waveforms on a mix. I
Right.
just saw this flat line. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And then I
awesome
looked at my
though. An ecstatic DJ. That's awesome. You know, I've seen people at those ecstatic dances and they really cut loose. They let it all hang out. You know, they just let go and surrender and
yeah.
totally just flow into the all, you know, just let their bodies do whatever they wanted to do.
Have you attended
Yeah.
one or what?
Not
Uh,
yet. Not yet, but I would love
oh,
to. I mean, it
man.
seems very blissful, you know, just being in that vibe of, you know, people around you that are letting go of all judgment, all barriers of, you know, criticism and just moving however they want to move, you know, just allowing the body to groove as intended, you know, to move as intended. It feels like it feels really liberating just watching it. So I mean, there's only one time I remember doing it, not by myself, but with a group. So, you know, by myself, I can just move around here and, you know, flow around here, do Tai Chi and just let my body move. And I love listening to music. I love dancing. But I remember I was in Italy and I was in this oasis or OAC. I forget what part of Italy it was called, but there was a lady, I was at her house and we did, you know, Osho?
Yeah. It's like to jump in and
Yes. So we did an
right.
Osho meditation. We did an Osho thing together, and it was all just, you know, there was a lot of movement, there was a lot of jumping, there was a lot of letting go, and then, you know, we relaxed. And I had not done that with a group of people before, so that was actually pretty nice, pretty gratifying. Yeah.
Liberating.
Yeah, liberating on all levels. So when
It's
you're
funny
talking
because
about this,
yeah,
go ahead.
I just wanted to make like the comparison to Osho, and now you start about it.
Yeah.
So it's funny how that it's like a more feminine version, if you will, of like the Osho. You just let your body do the speaking and the talking, like you move and you.
Hmm.
I mean, you know, I should definitely go if I were you. I mean, you don't have anything to hide there. You can just be
Right.
you, and it's just I don't know what's going on here.
Right. You just let down your walls, let down the mask, the walls, all the barriers that are in front of you and your authenticity. You know, just
Exactly. So, I mean, for me, I've been dancing for 6, 7 years now. People come up to me like, "Oh, I love the way you move. You're so free." I said, "Man, you should have seen me when I started. I was all over the freaking room. I was insecure as beep.
Wow.
Really, I had no limits, no boundaries in my energy field. I was just completely exploding on the because of my insecurity. I was just taking so much space, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's
So
what I tell people, you know, like just what you see right now is the result of 7 year dancing. It wasn't like that in the beginning. So just be cool with yourself, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Give yourself
Take it
some
easy.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take it easy
some
on
time.
yourself, you know, cutting
Yeah.
yourself some slack and really, you know, not cracking the whip on yourself when it comes to, we can definitely be our own worst critics sometimes. We can be plagued by insecurities for sure. And you talked about registering for her retreat, Christiana, but how was it when you actually went to the retreat? Like, how was your actual experience, you know, with her and with the other participants?
Huh. Let me feel into that one. It was it was what was it? Yeah, I don't know. I can't find a word for it. It's like it was easy flowing. I had the feeling like, yeah, this is part of my tribe. It's good to be here. I like Christiana. She's very energetic, and
Mm-hmm.
also very yeah, excited about these retreats. And but the group was nice. I had like we had people from all over the place, from America, and from Germany, Romania, I think Italy.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of Hungarians, I believe. So it was a small group, but everything just aligned perfectly. Like we had. There was a schedule, but you know how it goes with these retreats. Sometimes you plan
Mm-hmm.
something, but sometimes the energy wants to go like another way, and then you need to adapt. And if you cannot,
Yeah.
but there was this guy there was this guy speaking, which really there was two things happening there that were big events for me.
Mm-hmm.
One was the this Romanian guy speaking, who has like a retreat center now in Romania. He was telling about his 9 day water fast
Mm-hmm.
experience, and how he just totally freed himself, and there were all kinds of energies moving. He could see things, and he could feel things, and he was more sensitive to everything around him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he could even like have visuals. He saw beings and stuff, and but he told it with so much passion, you know, like he was really in like this, almost like this Italian way with the hands and the voice. It was beautiful. And then in the evening, I had like a session with Tal, which is the mentor of Rema Or.
Tal Giboa.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah. I met up with him, and
Awesome.
he did this thing with just pushing the hand up and the other one down.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know it. And I was standing there crying, man. I mean, I was really feeling the liberation in my body, but also I got this message like, bro, you've done this in previous lives, man.
Wow.
Come on now. Come on now with the Pranic. You can do this. Your body already has this. It's just your mind fucking you up and your emotions fucking you up. And
So that
you're,
itself was almost like a regression. Is like
yeah,
you had a remembrance.
I had to remember this. So you have done this plenty of times in previous lifetimes. It's no biggie for you. You can just let go. Just follow your body and just don't push it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just be willing to listen to the signals your body is sending you and your soul is guiding you with, and you will flow in this easily.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah, it's I don't know how to explain, but I think you know the feeling when you have these insights that feel so profound
Mm-hmm.
that you just know they're true. You
Right.
cannot like you cannot get around it.
Yeah.
It's like knowledge from the Akashic records or something, or the soul records. You just know, like, oh yeah, this is
It's
right. Just
it's
like
coming from source.
it's
Yeah.
coming from
Yeah.
source. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know how it works. So, and then it said like you're also here to be a pranic teacher. I'm like, okay, and I started crying again. I was like, okay,
Mm.
well, we'll see how that goes. I mean, I don't know. So yeah, we'll see. I mean,
And this was when you were with Tao, you know, when he had you doing that posture
yeah,
and doing positions, and like you felt yourself releasing, you know,
yeah,
when the
exactly.
tears were coming down, what do you feel brought on or triggered that kind of release, you know?
I think it was opening up to truth.
Okay.
I think that was it. Just oh,
Yeah.
like like swords knocking me in the head. Like, hey, bro, wake up.
Hmm. Hmm.
You got this. We got some information for you.
Yeah, the source codes, you know, the light codes and downloads, right? The
Yeah,
downloads for
man.
sure. 'Cause
Stop.
why do you feel like something so simple can have such a tremendous effect, you know? Something so simple as just holding your body in a certain way can, I mean, be such a release like that.
Because I aligned myself like through the sky and and the earth. I
Mm-hmm.
think just making a straight line up and down, and just I think that's it. I don't know. I mean, that's the only explanation I have, and just surrendering to that, and just standing there in the posture for like 6 minutes. I don't know. No, we did 3 or something, but
Surrendering. You
yeah,
said
but
it.
really making the like the alignment,
Mm-hmm.
just physically creating the alignment, and then surrendering,
Mm-hmm.
and just letting come through whatever needs to come through, and not resisting it.
Right.
Just feeling my body, feeling my mind, the energy around me, and just say, okay, let's go.
Right. Right. Because had you felt it on that level before, you know, with your 7 years of experience with ecstatic dancing, had you felt it that like that before?
Oh yeah, I've been on the floor many times crying, like just but it's different. It's not like the same. It's not like like if I'm standing like this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really making the lines, if you will, the column. In dancing, it's more vibrant and organically, because you move your body
Mm-hmm.
and the energy is moving. You feel the energy moving, and then it's with dancing. I feel it's more like if I let my body do the moving. So if I surrender to the movements of my body,
Mm-hmm.
I um, well, energy just flows where it needs to go.
Right.
And that's why some
Right.
people tell me like, "Oh, I love the way you moved." I say, "I wasn't moving. That was my body."
Mm. I wasn't moving.
I got my head out of the way, like
Right, right.
my ego
That
structures.
wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was my body. I like that. I like that response.
My avatar moved on its own.
Right, right. So when you meet people like you know, the people of Israel like Ray Mayor and Tal Giboa, do they make it more relatable, you know, this kind of journey? Because I know that they're not very far out into the spiritual field of, you know, I know Ray is more on the scientific, you know, level with it, and Tal Giboa, like your impression of them, does it make it more down to earth?
Yeah, because I can just see the people, not like the whole Tao uh, retreat thingy, Breatharian stuff.
Right.
I just see a person. That makes it, for me, that makes it authentic. Also, Ray, if I even now speaking to you, I just see you as a person. You're just another brother on the other side of this internet connection. Like yeah, I can, and I can feel your energy. It's good. So I like your energy, because it reminds me a lot of my own energy, and that's when I felt like, okay, this could be like some interesting guy to send a message sometime, but you were first, so
Awesome.
yeah, this was also part of my journey. I just wanted to do interviews with people, and
Yeah.
yeah, inspire. I just actually I started this journey traveling right now
Mm.
because I just want to inspire. I want to inspire.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
My
I heard from Dr. Wayne Dyer about the word inspire. You know, like years ago, I remember listening to an audio and he was just playing, like, he was just saying affirmations and just wise sayings over and over. And one of them, he was talking about the word inspiration. And he said, to be inspired is to be in spirit.
exact.
You
Yeah.
know, and I was like, oh man, that was when that connected. That was when that coincided for me. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, and it's so simple because what I've learned over the past couple of months and years is to simplify my life. Because actually everything is as simple as I can let go,
Right.
not get attached to it.
Right.
I met this Iraqi guy like a half years ago in a library in the Netherlands where
Mm-hmm.
I used to come a lot. I just sit down and then people show up. We have a conversation. And he and I got to talk about attachment versus non-attachment. So I told him like the level of freedom I experience is the level of non-attachments I'm allowing in my life. You know, like the more I attach, the more cluttered my life becomes. So, for instance, if I would attach to my car as a house, let's say it broke down in 2 months, can happen. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I don't want it, but it could happen. Like I can just, bam, let it go.
Right.
It's not to. It's not to be proud to prone or something. It's just. My point is like, uh, the less you attach to anything, the simpler life is.
Yeah.
At least that's my experience. So,
For sure. It
any thoughts on
it
that
makes
from your side?
sense. It makes sense. Like, you know, speaking of the monks and nuns that I talked to you about before that, you know, invited me into their monastery, their meditation center. It was called the Barwa, Mindfulness and Detachment. That's what the center was called, the Barwa Mindfulness and Detachment Center. And
There you go.
they were all about detachment. They were all about mindfulness. They were all about letting go. And it showed in their mannerisms, it showed in their personality, it showed in their just their candor, like the way that they didn't take things so personally and really just didn't take things as an attack and get so defensive and get so and even with the things that they received, like I was volunteering, you know, I would be with them, I would drive them to different locations and from Baldwin Park to Arcadia to different places in California, and they were walking barefoot on the street collecting alms round, you know, donations, and they would teach everyone that they could, they would teach them meditation. So people would come to their classes, they would learn meditation, then they would leave their classes and they would give them donations, right? And one of their
Exactly.
donations that they got was like a huge property in a huge acreage of land, like all this acreage, and they let me stay at their property in Lake Elsinore, overlooking this huge body of water. I was the king of the hill, literally. I was like on top of the
Yeah.
world, and I was like, "What? Like, how much this must have cost them to buy this property?" And somebody told me, "No, they gave this to them. Like somebody just gave this to them
Exactly.
and donated. They donated this, and."
Beautiful.
If that wasn't enough, there were, you know, all sorts of electronics and appliances at one point inside of the property. And you know, these people came in, they were inviting people in, and a couple of the people, this guy and a girl, woman and man, they took some of the appliances, like they stripped their TV and they took their TV and they, you know, pretty much like burglarized the house, the place.
Yeah.
And when the head monk, the chief monk, got word back from them saying that they stole all this stuff, when they told him about it, he said, "That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay."
I guess
Like they
they
didn't,
needed it.
He said, yeah, they needed it more than we did. Like, they didn't steal from us. I gave it to them. He turned their theft into a donation. Like, he said,
See?
I just donated to them. You know,
Can you feel
so
the freedom in that? Can
freedom.
you feel the freedom in that?
Yeah.
Like not being like obsessed or like being I don't know the word. I cannot make it up. Like being disturbed by this people taking. I think okay, huh, I mean whatever. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Guess they needed it more than I do,
Right.
so I don't need it. So
Right.
I've never used it.
Right. You just,
That's what I mean with the non-attachment. You know, like if
yeah.
you don't attach, you just let's make it personal. If I don't attach to too much,
Mm-hmm.
of course I have some attachment. I mean, I'm not like a robot, uh, but I can let go easier. That's what I learned in my life.
Yeah.
And the story behind my travel, to be honest, like is if you have you heard of the life cycles of 7 years? Like every 7 years, you have this major event
Tell me
happening in
about
your
it.
life. Never heard of it?
Tell me about
And
it.
it's not like exact science. I mean, it can be when you're 6 and when you're 15, but it's if you they say life moves in cycles of 7 years.
Okay.
So now I'm 49, 7 times 7, so that's the grand cycle, you know. That's so my chapter 1 of my life is ended, and I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna detach from my previous life.
Okay.
So
You're on chapter 2.
I'm on
You're on chapter 2
chapter
now.
2 of my book. Yeah. Yeah, so every 7 years or so there's some major event. Let's say when I was around 7, I moved from the city to a little village.
Mm-hmm.
When I was around 14, I almost died because I had an illness. They mistreated me.
Mm.
When I was around 21, I had my first house. When I was 28, I had 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 35, I had a burnout and I was moving out of my marriage.
Okay.
When I was 42, I met my previous partner. You know, the toxic relationship,
Right.
which and now I'm 49. I'm like, okay, been there, done that.
Right.
That was chapter 1.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Let's see if we can do something different. So if you look back on your own life, you can maybe, I mean, you're like in the beginning of your 30s or becoming 30. So you have 4 cycles already on your 5th cycle.
Okay.
Maybe you can go back. Maybe it was around when you were 5 or you were 11 or you were, it can also be around 6.5. But I mean, there's a lot of talk about it. Like now it's not 7, it's 6.5 or it's 6. But generally speaking, the number 7 is also like a highly spiritual
Right.
number.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you probably heard of it. So
Well, it definitely is. You know, people talk about lucky number 7. You know, they use it in
exactly.
casinos a lot. You see it in casinos when people are playing the slots. The 7 is a very big number for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for good reason, because it has a lot of and there's 7. Yeah, I already saw that. Thank you. Tyler 96 says there's 7 people in the
7
room.
people in here. Yeah, no coincidence. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you said that there was a point in your life where you almost died, you said there was an illness or a sickness. What was that?
If you want to talk about coincidence again, I got sick on my mother's birthday when I was 13.
Mm.
And you know, when you have this, I don't know how this is in English. I think it's your appendix that breaks. You know, this tiny little thing.
Oh man.
Normally
Okay,
they
so you were
treat you. So I was lying at home for 2 weeks with extreme pains, and the doctor kept telling my parents like, yeah, no, it's the flu. It's just he needs to go through this. But it was 2 weeks going on, and yeah, I hope you're not like an image thinker, but it was going on I can still remember. It was the 30th of December, so 2 weeks in, I started vomiting my shit, literally. So my parents rushed to the doctor. He said, you need to get to a hospital right now. I was like, I mean, I'm skinny now, but I was like 13. I weighed just above 30 kilos, I
Wow.
think. I lost 11 kilograms in one night, and then that was in the first night, and then there's 13 nights after that of extreme pain. So I got in the hospital, and then by then I was dried out, so they couldn't treat me. I couldn't have a surgery, so I needed to regain my strength, and I was 5 weeks in the hospital. Well, long story. Anyways, it was
Man,
yeah, it was something.
you
But
survived all that. Jeez, Jesus.
yeah, can you see how strong the body
Yeah.
is? I neglected like appendix, like inflammation that was burst in my body.
Hmm. Yeah. That's
And
what they call like being septic, going septic.
I don't know. I mean, I
Like
don't know
when
the
your
word
body
for it.
becomes like completely toxic, you know, that
Yeah.
it just the whole body is septic. They call it septic or sepsis. Sepsis, I forget the word for it, but when you're talking about that, like what do you feel was the big contributing factor? Like what contributed to that event even happening in your body?
Whew. I think that what I get now, like as an answer to your question, is like I took too much in. I was bullied a lot from when I was, I think, 3 years old up until my that age.
Mhm.
I was bullied a lot, so I took so much in. I even had like the kids on the playground punch me in the stomach just to get accepted. Like
Okay.
so. I think something broke. I mean, I don't know. And my mother always tells me it's probably because she did that. I say I don't know. It could be. I mean, but I think spiritually speaking, you could say like I just took too much shit, literally, and then shit came out after 2 weeks. So
Mhm.
I needed to purge the shit, and then I needed to get in the hospital and recover. And yeah, yeah. And back in the day, like if you do like an appendix surgery nowadays, it's just they make a small hole and they go in and they just remove the whole thing and that's done. I got like this 20, 30 centimeter um, cut in my on my in my belly
Mm.
because they had to get everything out. Everything was infected, so they got the whole appendixes out, the whole intestines. It was like, I mean, I don't know.
Jeez.
And they woke me up after, just right after the surgery when they just cut in me. So I was screaming like a
Oh,
little,
man. Man.
with the sister. And then the sister and my mother told me like, "Oh, shush, 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 don't scream." I don't, what the fuck, don't scream.
It's
Someone
crazy.
just cut me open.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Gotta be like,
anyway.
yeah, excruciating pain. So, I mean, Will, what do you feel like your life would be like, Will, if that hadn't happened at that during that 7 year period, during that 7 year cycle, at that juncture of your journey, if that event had not happened, what would your life be like today? Like how did it turn around after that?
Um, not sure. I mean, it's that's why I say life happens in like cycles of 7 years. So the major events. I don't know. I mean, I think my life would be pretty much the same, just without the disease. So
Okay. The same without the disease.
yeah, because I am who I am. I was who I was. Like it's. I was a kid. I was in school like everyone else, hating it, and yeah. So, but what it brought me like was more compassion from my classmates, and that was really good.
Hmm.
And they even let me go to the next year without like flunking me. They said, "Well, you got this. You just need to regain like your confidence, and you need to like study a little bit more about it. We think you got this." So, also not to get drawn back. Like I get to go in another class again with other people, other kids. Yeah, I think they were really, really good on that one. Really
Okay.
sharp.
And
Yeah.
when it comes to gaining confidence, with this newfound awareness that you have in these last few years, with, this pranic consciousness, pranic living, and, you know, this type of awareness, this different field, this different reality that you live in now, what do you feel like gives you a feeling of freedom? Like, why are you encouraged to continue this kind of lifestyle now?
because I feel it suits me. I've done the work, obviously, or I've done work. I've done work, and to me it feels like a bonus right now. Like say, okay, you've had your lessons, all right. You've always talked a lot about everything. You've preached a lot about, and now you get to feel how it is. You know, like this is your bonus. Here you go. You get to be free now, non-attached. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it. It's like me saying to myself, "Hello, soul. I can feel you." And to be honest, I must say, what got that expansion and expanded. I don't know. Have you heard of this guy, Darius J. Wright?
No. No.
You should definitely look this guy up. He's teaching people how to get out of their body and step with their soul out of their body, out of body
Okay.
experiences. He is teaching people how to do that, like how to get out of your body, which you already do at night, but then you get in a dream state, which is very cluttered and very disturbed. He, when I found, or he found me, like last November. Ever since I'm following this guy, I can have a better connection to my soul. You know, I just feel my soul more. So the only thing I need to do right now is just feel. You know. Do good today says, what's the name? It's Darius J. Wright. Let me comment on that. I will just put it in the comments for sure. We can keep talking, but
So just feeling. You're saying all you're concerned is just with the feeling. Yeah.
it's about feeling my soul for sure. Like how do I say this? If you're not connected to yourself, you're just going about your day and you do your thing and you think you have everything covered and you just go do your job. You go to, I don't know. But when you really start feeling, when I really started feeling my soul, I was like, oh wow, but what does it really want? And I think every person on this planet has one big desire, and it's ultimate freedom. So my desire was like, what would set me free? Um, and I already had last year, I already figured like I would walk like the Santiago de Compostela, you know, it's in Spain and Portugal. I, I, I said to myself, I'm going to walk it from my birth house, the house I was born in the Netherlands, and I'm going to walk there. But then this year, yeah, that's a beautiful example, actually, this. I was in a library. I was saying to myself, like, okay, what do I need to see right now? And then my eye fell on this book, and it said around Europe in 80 spiritual places. I said, what is this? I don't know. Let me get this book, you know? I opened it. It was the same like with the Pranic like 2 years ago. It was bam, bing. I was like, wow, why don't I just go do like a journey through Europe?
Right.
I have a car.
Right.
I have all the time in the world. I have the money, so why not travel?
Yeah.
And just to be honest, I mean, I don't have a lot of money. That's also more freedom, you know. Like but it's enough.
Yeah.
People always ask me like, say to me like, you must have a lot of money. I said, no, just a couple of €1,000, and that's gonna keep me good in a year. I mean, the less I attach and the less I desire, the less I need. The less I need, the freer I am. It's that simple.
That's the equation, you know.
So, and that's what my channel is about.
Yeah.
Like showing people, like, come on, stop making excuses. Just set yourself free. Yeah, but I cannot. I have a job. I have children. Find your way. There's a way. Your soul wants to be free. And just by making all the little movies on my YouTube and Instagram, I just like to inspire. Also my children. I just want them to grow up differently than I did. I just want them already at this age to feel the non-attachment, to feel the freedom, to feel the freedom of choice, like not to step into a job, which they really don't want, to be honest. They already said that. I can see them struggle, like they're in the school system, but it really doesn't resonate. My two oldest are already out, so my daughter is going into coaching, and my oldest son, he started his own game design company.
Awesome.
So he's slowly moving in, and my youngest son, he says, "Yeah, I'm still in school, but he wants to be like also a YouTuber or something." I don't know.
Okay, so they're
It
on the
doesn't
wave.
matter.
Yeah, so they're on the wave of entrepreneurship, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the newer generation just want that, because sometimes I hear the older generation saying, young people don't want to work. I say, yeah, they want to work. But I want to work differently.
Right,
It's not the classical fabric, like the work in the factory, like most people still do, right? Then you
right,
go to your
right.
job, you get an income, and then you have some holidays, like maybe 25 days a year. It's like prison,
Right.
to be honest.
Like the from the industrial age to the age of information, you know? It's like
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Which
for
is the
sure.
Aquarian age again, you know? Like you probably heard about it. Like the Aquarian is about information.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I hope to inspire people to embrace freedom. And it doesn't mean like you have to do what I do. I mean, freedom is an inside job. I've really felt the words right now. I now know what they mean.
Hmm.
I mean, I always said like freedom is an inside job, but I had no clue,
Mm.
to be honest. I had no
Yeah.
clue. Now I can feel it.
Yeah.
Just like like 12 years ago or something, 15 years ago, I also got like around Breatharianism. I
Hmm.
was already interested in it, but I had no clue where these people were living, and I
Right.
heard some people talk about it, and I let it go again. Like, okay, I know it exists. I also know like the body could heal by itself. It's a self-healing mechanism, but I didn't know how. Like I told in my latest, you saw it.
Hmm.
You look at like the body is so freaking
Yeah,
intelligent, and I'm
it is.
sure that like ancient civilizations already lived like this without food and water because they had a higher vibration.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
we just need to remember.
Yes. Yes. You know?
Becoming the
It's
members again, you know,
yeah.
like yeah,
It's its own regression, you know, like, but it's always a blessing, you know, and it feels like progression, even
yeah,
though even
exact,
though it's like yeah, yeah, like you said, all these lessons they feel like progression, but you're remembering, so it's kind of it's regression. It is. It's like going back to an ancient form of living, like it's a new way for us, but it's an old way for our ancestors, you know, for the ones that came before. And we're coming into new ways that we can explore, tapping back in
yeah,
into what it was like before. Yeah, I love it.
beautiful, yeah. And you know what I teach my children, or
What?
at least my daughter? The two boys are not really open to it, but yet, but that will come. Anytime she gets stuck in life, I say just forgive yourself.
Mm,
There's only one thing you can be grateful, forgive yourself.
forgive it.
As good, like Dr. Hugh Len, you know, like with the Ho'oponopono,
Hmm.
forgive
Yeah,
yourself. That's the only thing you can set yourself free with, because the only thing that's judging you is you.
right, right. That's, I mean, what an affirmation. You know, those words will make somebody break down and cry. Just telling themselves in the mirror that whole open, I think it's I'm sorry, please forgive me,
I love
I
you.
thank you, and I love you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this that's the four sentences, and you can mix them up, but it's, I mean, it depends.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's so beautiful. It's
Tremendous.
so profound. Like, I think there's a couple of pillars in life that really make up life, and that is, one is gratitude,
Yeah.
being grateful. Two is like compassion.
Hmm.
Three is empathy. Four is forgiveness, and five is love.
Yeah,
And that's the
yeah.
only pillars I can think of that are
Those-
very important in life. And if you can really integrate those in your
mhm.
life, you're good.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what everybody else says.
those are the ingredients. Those are the
Yeah.
ingredients to the recipe, you know? Yeah.
Why are
Yeah.
you smiling at me like that? I feel offended. Yeah, okay. You go ahead, feel offended, you know? I'm not attached to your offendedness. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I
Ah,
love you. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I love that you're called, Will. I love that this journey has called to you. I love that, you sound very passionate about, just living life. I love these lessons of the freedom of the soul, forgiveness, surrender. And you say that you're inspired to teach about these things. So if somebody wanted to reach you and, wanted to get more in tune with you, more in touch with you, where do you feel like where should they go to really receive, some guidance if they're looking for it and they feel inspired by your story?
Could be on any channel. I mean, I have a website which is along Dawe with an A.
Okay.
Uh, dot live, but I would say dot live. I like it better. Along the way dot live.
Along the way that
Uh,
live. Got
I
it.
mean, I had a guy from India reaching out to me on Instagram this week, and he was like, "Hey, are you a breatharian?" I say, "Well, I don't really give myself labels, but yeah, you could see me as such." And he was struggling, and I just gave him some advice, and he was good. I guess he's. But along the way that lived, it's a website. It's not really ready, but the most things are on there. My socials, my email, I think.
Okay.
Uh, which is just my first name at along the way that lived.
Gotcha.
And
All right.
yeah, I mean,
Beautiful.
if people are willing to do the work, I'm willing to be there. Like I've also coached people in the past when I gave free
Mm,
sessions, and you could really tell they came because it was free.
mm,
And I learned like, okay, well, but something is free. There's not really like an exchange of energy, like they just hook on because it's free.
mm.
And then they come to me and I was coaching them. And the second session we had, they were telling me the same. The third session they're telling me the same. So, yeah, but listen, what did I tell you last time,
Mm,
Did you do it? No, I didn't. Right, no. Sorry, but then I have to detach because I had to learn that everything is
mm,
energy. And also, if I do something, it doesn't have to be money. I mean, it's just everything is an exchange all the time. Just like we are now, we're talking. That's our exchange.
right.
We we value each other in time and in space, and also the guys that are watching and give them some content, and that might be useful or not. I mean, that's up to them. But
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Will. Thank you for this energy exchange. Thank you for sharing your story and just,
You
giving
too,
your
man.
testimony, the rite of passage, the pilgrimage that you're taking in life, the nomad
No
journey. We love it.
mad journey.
I love it. And yeah, I can't wait to see where you go from here. Yeah.
Yeah, you can follow me. I mean, you have my Instagram, obviously, so my YouTube. So yeah,
Awesome.
let's
Oh,
keep in touch and reach out sometimes. Maybe we can do some more sessions in the future. I don't know.
all right,
We'll
brother.
see. We'll see along the way, huh?
Along the way, we'll see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
Take care.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Also, and hope to see you soon.
Blessings.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye now.